Stampers, this is Jackie Ross, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Plano, Texas. And today I'm going to share with you a couple of techniques using the new Brusho Colour crystals. And yes, if you look at the spelling on the colour, they are made in the United Kingdom. They've been around for about 30 years, but Stampin' Up! Has just started carrying them in a package with 5 different colours. So the technique we're going to use, the first technique is an emboss resist technique, and we're using the Beautiful Day stamp set, which is perfect for this particular technique. And then if you stick around, I've got some other samples to show you using this same stamp set using the blends and our Stampin' Up! Alcohol markers. But let's go ahead and get started. I'm just going to clear away my space here. I need the Brusho. The best way when you're using these, this technique, is to either use a watercolor paper or the shimmery white cardstock. So I'm going to start by stamping my butterfly onto the cardstock with Versamark, and then I'm going to take my gold embossing powder. I take my powders out of the little round containers they come in and put them into one of these little flat sandwich boxes, because I find that it's just, you can see the card fits in nicely. You don't have to do that scooping up and make a mess. And you know what I just realized I didn't do? Oops, I didn't use my embossing buddy. And now I've got a couple of speckles on there that I didn't want. So when you're doing this technique, use your emboss buddy first to get rid of those speckles. But I do have my handy dandy paintbrush here, so I can just take those bits off that I don't want. So now I'm going to use my heat tool. Actually, as well as my heat tool, I'm going to bring in my piece of foil. I find that if I use it's just a piece of cardboard covered with aluminum foil, that just helps the heat to reflect underneath as well, and so that your powder will melt a little more quickly. As you're doing your heat embossing, I like to just do like little circles. You can see where the powder, if I get a little bit closer to the camera, you can see where it's starting to melt the powder. You need to make sure that you keep your heat on the powder until it's completely melted. I like to think of it like cellulite. You don't want those dimples. You want it nice and smooth. So you're going to keep that heat on, doing your little circles until that powder has melted, and it will be raised and it will be smooth. And then when I hold it up to the camera in a minute, you'll be able to see that it's got that gorgeous raised. I think how does that look? Can you see that? Ooh, that's gorgeous. Okay, so that's embossed. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to bring in my silicone mat so that I can protect the surface that I'm working on. One of the problems with adding water to cardstock is that as you add water, it's going to want to do this. It's going to want to buckle, which means your crystals, the color is going to, roll either side. So we are actually going to tape this down. And I'm going to show you 2 different ways. So I actually stamped another butterfly on watercolor paper. So I can show you the there are many other ways you can use these color crystals, but I just wanted to share with you 2 ways in this video. If I showed you more ways, I'd be here all day and you might switch me off. It would turn into a very long video. So then I'm going to take this one and do the same thing. I'm going to tape this down. And I don't know if the camera can pick up the difference in the texture here. The color crystals are actually manufactured in the United Kingdom. And they've been around for about 30 years, but it's just been in this last occasions catalog that Stampin' Up! Has been carrying it in these, and it comes with the 5 colors. So this one here, I'm going to show you probably the most easiest and obvious one to do. And I'm just going to take the crystals. As I say, you just want to, they have a little cap on them Don't remove the lid, just put a hole in the top, and then I just put a push pin in the top to stop it. Now a little goes a long way. That's kind of a key thing with these crystals. And I'm just going to tap some of this powder onto, and you can see I'm not using very much. I'm just going to do a little bit of the blue. And usually I would advise don't use more than 2, maximum 3 colors. If you use too many colors, then they all merge together and you just get kind of a messy look. So not very exciting so far, is it, ladies? And gentlemen, I guess I get used to calling ladies because I do mainly in-person events, and pretty much all my customers are ladies. So now we've got this. Now I'm going to bring in, this is my little spritzer. We're going to fill it with water. And then you're just going to make sure that the nozzle is pointing away from your face. Otherwise, it's just going to surprise you. And we're just going to spritz and just wait. Watch what's going to happen. It's so fun. Look. Woo! Hold on. Look. Can you see those colors exploding? Woohoo! Oh my gosh. Yay. And then if you want to, you can add, I think I want a little more yellow on there. So you can go back in and add a little more intense. Can you see the colors getting a little more intense there? You can also, if you have a little bit too much color in an area, maybe I don't want this quite so green here, you can take a paper towel and blot it. You can also come in with your aqua painter and kind of smush those colors around. In fact, I don't really much like that. Okay, hold on. And you can see where the butterfly was embossed, it resists that ink. Now the other way we're going to do it is a slightly more controlled way. So I've got the aqua painter. Normally when we have the aqua painters for coloring, we say don't squeeze because you don't want too much water coming out. You just want your brush wet. But this time we actually do want to squeeze and lay down lots of water. So now, oh, I've got a little bit of green on there. So we're putting lots of water down here, but it's in a controlled, it's only going where I want it to get wet. Whereas when we spritzed it here, you had very little control. So lots and lots of water. And then same idea. Let's use the gambone. Ooh, can you see how that just, ooh, it's a different look. Okay, let's add another color. We're going to add some red. Just make that a little more intense here. And then, now this will take a little while to dry. Again, we can use our aqua painter and just blend a little bit over here to intensify the color. It's got really pretty soggy. And then again, if you want to just dab it, you can take some of that color off. But you know, the fun thing with using these Brusho, I have 70 ladies in club, and when we did it at club this month, every single card was completely different. And of course, everyone liked somebody else's card better than their own, but they were just beautiful. And I'm just going to show you a few more samples. So this does take a little while to dry. You can use your heat tool on a low setting and heat dry it, but I just find it easier just to let it sit and dry. It seems to keep the color more intense. So this is one I did earlier, and it's kind of like, I thought it was my Van Gogh. It's a bit Starry Night. This one's one of my favorites. I love the splotchiness of it. Again, change up the color. You've got a different card. So with this card, this is actually, say, the finished card. We cut the cardstock down to 3 3/4 by 5 inches and then layered it onto another piece and did the white embossing on the black. Very simple card. This one, color combination, is just gorgeous. Again, same card, change up the colors, it's going to look very different. And you can see that kind of controlled way that it's finished with the aqua painter. This one, where I put the masking tape on, when I took the masking tape off, you've then got this nice definition around the card, which I liked. And I said I was going to show you something done with the blends. So this stamp set is a very easy one to cut out. This was using the Stampin' Blends out, Stampin' Up! Alcohol markers, and then this texture behind. And if I bring it a little bit closer, can you see the texture? This is the shimmer texture paste. I'm going to be doing a video on that later, so come back and visit my my channel for a video on that. Here's another one done with the butterfly. Again, this is using the fluttering embossing folder behind it, coloring in with the blends, getting all that gorgeous different variation in the color, and then just put on with dimensionals. And then this is probably another one of my favorites. I love tone on tone. So I did the Brusho with the yellow and the gambone, and then cut out the flower and added it to, this is Daffodil Delight and Crushed Curry. So, but anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you'd like to purchase these products, or if you have any questions, you can visit my blog, which is JackieRossStamps.com. I have more tutorials. There is going to be a printable PDF for this. And also you can visit my store if you would like, which is JackieRoss.stampinup.net. Thanks, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.